Hi everybody, it's Mike with AECInspire. We have a new big release for you guys, version 2.8. This release has a lot of great features, and the biggest one being a new UI. So we've been listening to everybody, and we have a lot of great improvements that we made to the UI. A lot of really cool tools we also included. So before we dive in, as always, double check the bottom left hand side of your screen, make sure you're running version 2.8. It should open up automatically when you open Inspire, but sometimes you do have to hit that Control-Shift-R. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing you see when you log in is going to be the new dashboard. Now it looks very similar, but we did add a lot of cool features as you dig into it. This new dashboard is going to have an add new project button, so yes, you can actually add new projects right from your dashboard now. Also, we did change the button to say go to projects, so that's a little bit easier to find. And you can also manage and delete and edit projects right from the dashboard as well. Our projects tab remains. This is really where you're going to see inactive projects, and you're going to be able to archive them as you get through those projects. We have a new sorting at the top as well, so this is something where you're going to be able to jump in, sort by the newest project, so you can see what is the latest that's been worked on, what's the latest project, so you always have those up at the top. The new project tab, this is the same interface as before. Just add your project name, add your trade, hit proceed, and you're off and running. Another aspect of the dashboard is also the toggle up at the top. So if you did not want to see that sidebar, you can actually hide this so it collapses it so it's nice and small. You have a lot more real estate for your projects. And let's take a look at what's inside of a project next. Let's dive into that project and check out the new UI and upload experience. So jumping into your project, when you first create it, you're actually prompted to create a folder if there's not already one made. So I'm just going to give you a quick run through of the new upload process. There are a few changes I'll go over a little bit later, but just this new upload process and the initial parts of the dashboard I wanted to cover with this section. Go ahead and select the electrical trade. We'll say create folder, and it's going to ask us to upload a file right away. And as many of you have asked for, it's a drag and drop scenario now. So you can simply click and drag your files and drop those right onto your projects. And dropping those on there already kicks off the upload process. So you see the upload really happened fast. Now we can jump in. It's generating that sheet preview like it did before. And this is going to be our new sheet naming and numbering sequence. So once the sheets get loaded, we'll have some boxes to drag over the sheet title and the sheet number. And this is a version that looks familiar, but this time you can pan around the drawing to move it where you need to. So we see we have two different boxes, the sheet number, which we're going to drag over the sheet number, and the sheet name. So with a little bit of manipulation, all you do is grab the area where you want the sheet number and the sheet title to be. And we'll actually just be able to grab these numbers right from here during the upload process. And you just say generate sheet name and number. And both of those fields get filled in for you on all the sheets during this process, so that upload process is substantially faster than before. I think everyone's really going to enjoy this. We'll complete the upload process, and now our file window stays open on our left-hand side. So you can jump right into a sheet and get working. And the next section, let's check out some of the new UI. Picking up from the new upload process, your new file management on the left-hand side has a little bit more to it. You'll notice that file management up at the top, the screen looks a little bit different than we had previously. You can actually access your files and your folders and all of your drawings right from here as well. So the Sheets drop-down allows you to see a preview of each of the sheets along with the names and also the versions. A big addition we also included with this is the fact that you can name, update, or delete individual sheets out of your project as well. So this just makes it a little bit easier to manage those sheets and the versions you're working in. You can also upload new documents to this as well. So a lot of great additions to the file management tab. And closing out of our folder, you'll notice up at the top we actually have your file path. So you can navigate right to the dashboard, you can go right to other projects, or even navigate to different folders right from here, but we let you keep track of where you're at in your projects. And kind of going around the circle, we have the General Files tab, we have the same scope box. A lot of this stuff is going to look the same, we just reorganized a lot of it, make it a little bit more easy to work with. So your distance tool, your table tool, and your text are now on the left-hand side. It's a little bit easier access. So we did clean up the bottom toolbar for you, so it's a little bit more screen-friendly, takes up a little bit less real estate, and it's more concise. And the bottom, we have the same select or pan. Also navigate between those sheets, and your general scale tool is as well. And we have those same hide assembly, place assembly, hide background, and we have a new transparency feature I'll be going over as well, and the resize tool. And up on the right hand side, we have your undo, a new color by parameters we'll go over in a little bit, as well as your general properties, just like before. We also have a new screenshot tool, and your print function is right on the right hand side as well, and your settings. So the UI is a little bit more user-friendly. The updates, again, came from feedback from you guys, so a lot of this great stuff is feedback you have, and stuff we've been analyzing. Another great portion of this release is some of the workflow improvements we've had overall. So Inspired Search is one of those. Inspired Search is going to look and feel similar, but we did add some cool features. So if you notice your Inspired Search preview window, we now have a new category called Previously Cropped Symbols. This is going to help you keep track of items that you've searched already, so that you can either reference, bring back into search, or actually just keep an eye on what you've done so you don't retake a certain image or retake a certain symbol. This is going to help you stay a little more organized as you're searching light fixtures, as you're searching power symbols or notes. Keeping track of what you're doing is always super important. Another big piece of this release is including naming up front. And what I mean by that is once you select your symbol and the preview pops up, it actually gives you the opportunity to name the symbol instead of doing it later on in the process. So as we're going through and searching these, filling in this name is actually going to allow you to not have to do that later on, as I mentioned. But if you ever have to hit the back button, this is something that's going to retain those names. So those multiple sheets, go ahead and search. And now once we get into this screen with the multiple sheets, you see that the name is already filled in. So we're saving a little bit of time that you're not having to fill these in manually, do the filtering, and go through to ensure that you're doing that up front at an easy point in the stage. This is a major update to Inspired Search, and we also did make an update to Inspired Search to help with accuracy as well, so you guys should see some improvement with those results on top of that. Next up is a color by parameter. So this is a new feature altogether, in addition to the layers we already had. So this feature overall lets you set certain colors, certain layer colors to certain parameters. So for this example, we have our general layers that we have all of our systems on, MC lengths or Inspired Search group, all those different groups we created just for a normal drawing set. But now we actually integrated different parameters. So for example, I can click order status and see what status all my equipment, all my assemblies are. So in this case, we have a couple different statuses in production, and these are just for example, needs to be submitted, sent to fab, shipped, and staged on site. So visually you can get a really quick representation of what needs to be shipped, what needs to be sent, what might be installed already. So it just gives you that quick glance at any parameter value. So you can set the colors for this in your layer manager. This is something that we're really excited about because this is going to really help enhance just that collaboration, just that quick where things at status point of view. And we want to see how you guys use this, so let us know what you think. A new tool on the right hand side is a screenshots tool. Really excited to show you guys this because this is something that's going to help everybody as far as referencing schedules, referencing different parts of the drawing. So we have our screenshot that pops up on the right side, and we have a crosshair that pops up. So when you're going through and needing to get information, you can quickly grab sections of the drawing, and it instantly takes the screenshot, and you can actually name these screenshots as well. and it is a dynamic search, so we can always reference these, or if you have a lot of screenshots, you can actually just search, and it's that same dynamic search we have over the rest of Inspire. But as you're working and going through, you can have your screenshot window open and simply click into that screenshot and pan and navigate around. So it makes really short work of having to look back at those lighting schedules, look back at the symbol legend. There's a lot of different things you can use this for, but it's a quick and easy tool to really help you along with your process. As we're going through, at the beginning I mentioned we have a new transparency tool and also some sizing changes. So the transparency tool is definitely something we've been hearing everybody on. And we can actually go in and set transparency to all these different categories. So if we go to assemblies, I can actually lower the transparency of all these counters so it's really easy to see through them if you need to see past them, but it's still keeping that count for you. This is just going to help anytime you're getting counts, you just want to reference what's behind everything, or you want to set the drawing up and use the yellow tags. It all works. So the transparency tool will definitely help everybody out that's needing to. You can set transparency manually just by highlighting this as well. And then moving on to the resizing tool, and go ahead and save this out. And the resizing tool, this is a similar case where you're actually able to then resize like we've always been able to do, but we implemented the manually resizing as well. So we can resize these based on any number we want to put in there. Otherwise, you still have the ability to use the slider. So just small additions, but definitely listening to our users, and this is something that they asked for, and we really want to get implemented soon. So we hope you guys like this one. As you're going through the UI, you're going to notice small improvements like the Inspire grid. So before we had to go to the 3 lines at the column header to then use the filter button, but we did change that, and we actually put the filter button really easily accessible, and you can also see what you filtered at a glance. So this improvement is just going to help your overall look and feel of Inspire Grid, and just know exactly what you have filtered and access it a little bit easier. Also up at the top, we did add the template button is a little bit bigger so you can see what template you have applied. Just at a quick glance, just makes it a little bit easier to see what you're up to inside of your bill of material. So you're making sure you're both having the right template applied, and you can see what filters you have applied. So a small one, but a really powerful little update. And last but not least, we have an update to the MC cables. So many of you have been asking for different types of MC to be able to divide your project up accordingly, from lighting and luminary to hospital grade MC. We added those for you. So in the MC dropdown, or the connection type dropdown, you're going to see MC cable, luminary MC, and we're also going to have hospital grade luminary and hospital grade MC. We also included Romex, so those of you doing any kind of residential or commercial high rise, we did include that Romex for you as well. So this is just going to help further differentiate your bill of material out, so you can assign the right MC or the right raceway to the right connections. Again, this is something everyone's really asked for, and we delivered. And this rounds out the AECInspire 2.8 update. Again, we're super excited for this update, and we really hope you guys enjoy it. We always enjoy your feedback and take it very seriously. So we'll see you guys in the next update.